All right. What do we got this game? Looks like we're going to have, I think it's going to be maybe 3 geotherms this game. I see 1. I'm just kind of hoping it increments by the amount that are actually on the map. There's at least 1. I'm going to leave it at that. And then we've got, water's looking a little bit awkward this game. Only 2 highs. One of them doesn't even have great adjacency. Aluminum is plentiful. Iron is weird. And carbon is also a little awkward. This game is going to be one... I'll be honest, this game is going to be one where I would try and found third and go Power Robot just because I want to ignore the map. And Power Robot is great at ignoring the map.
Yeah, I would have a hard time knowing what to do here.
Man, and Showcasemike apparently has decided that's what he wants to do as well. That was a pretty early robot found, but on the other hand, he was already to the point where he had no debt. Nobody founded with debt this game.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
So he founded second, which I think that's a little too early. I think you really want that extra claim from founding third. Like, that's where I like to aim in a 4-man
Especially
game.
with Power Robo, no one's really going to take that away from you, more or less.
Yeah.
But
the other big thing is you don't know if you're going to be up against, like, double scav, who aren't going to be using enough power for you to really support that play style. Here, I think this will work out just fine for him. It's great that he's up against 2 expansive players. I think expansive players on a map that's light on geotherms is exactly what you want to be up against as a power robot because they use the most power because they have the most buildings, right?
Yeah.
Not immediately, but once they get up to that HQ level 2 with all those steel mills, it's great.
The price of power is already collapsing. I think you should have gone 2 solar panels.
It's 3 solar panels. It's just too many. You have to go 2.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
2.
the price of power is just going to do this. It's like killing himself with that whole play right there. He has managed to reach HQ level 2, which is super important.
Yeah, otherwise he'd be dead.
Yeah, otherwise he would just be dead.
Did Cubit found first? I forgot.
Cubit did found first. It went Cubit, Showcasemike, pk.dude, and then Kingmorgan was our found order this game. So Cubit got the spot he wanted on this map. And I have to say, I can understand its location. It is super weird to me that he chose the high aluminum tile separated from his base. Actually, I can understand it, but it's still a little awkward.
Okay, I don't understand it.
Well, he's next to cliffs, right?
Yeah.
And he's got this other set of cliffs above him as well. He does not have a lot of space next to his colony. Like,
sure.
He's kind of counting on nobody taking that high aluminum next to him, I think.
Yeah.
And that'll leave him plenty of space to expand into. Now, if I were Kingmorgan,
someone else
would grab that tile immediately.
I would understand if he was going to claim it as soon as he got to level 2, but he didn't do that, so...
Yeah, he just went 4 steel mill instead, which I actually like in this situation. This situation, 4 steel mill, I really enjoy. Oh man, Showcasemike is actually going for steel mills himself, though. I think this is going to end up awkward for him. I don't think he's executing the power robot very well.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to claim that high aluminum, because you kind of need a high aluminum anyway, and then it totally messes up Cubit's, building placement for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. Definitely what I would do.
Although he may just squirt out
I did mask this game, so nobody really knows that that's Cubit.
Right.
Maybe they're... But I don't know. I would still just get aggressive against the player. That's what you should do. Just get aggressive against him. Who else is pulling in aluminum this game? So pk.dude, he has a medium aluminum that he's selected, but it's right next to his base, so I can forgive him that.
Yeah, why is Kingmorgan not grab that?
And Kingmorgan just doesn't have any coming in whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which does feel pretty awkward to me. He's prioritized all these other resources, like he grabbed the silicon and he grabbed the water that was close to him.
It's possible that when he upgraded, those tiles were still protected by Cubits found, because it was only one, gets an 80-second protection.
That's possible.
So it may not have been available to him.
Patience fixes that problem very quickly. Man, a freeze onto the steel and power of Showcasemike, that feels kind of awkward to me. I'm going to see... Well, I can just check down here. Who did that? Targeted by pk.dude.
Yeah, by his friend.
Yeah, I don't...
That's weird.
I don't like that freeze. It just feels weak. Like, the power's not doing anything. The steel, there wasn't even a whole lot of it online. It just wasn't in a position where it was going to get a whole lot done.
Oof, carbon's rubbing.
Okay, buildings which need carbon, collect it from the atmosphere, so... What are we going to do with that, guys? Anything? Do people care?
That seems pretty low.
Yeah, it does seem kind of low. Especially with the scavenger in the game. Carbon's always going to spike at some point with a scavenger in the game when they're hitting HQ level 4 or 5, building off-worlds.
12,000 is way too low to
yeah,
give
12,000 feels
Carbon
pretty
target.
cheap
That's
to me there.
That's a gift right
I mean,
there.
Showcasemike can't take it, right? He's just not in that position. Even with power killed, he's still relying on it quite heavily to get the work done that he needs to.
Yeah,
And then
Kingmorgan should have stepped up there.
Yeah, it would have been on Kingmorgan to really pressure that. Maybe he's feeling nervous. He is back on HQ level 2. Everybody else is 3. He doesn't want to paint a target on his back. Already, these guys into these geotherms. Cubit, I'll bet you don't have any power constructed. Oh no, do you have a geotherm, Cubit? Let's check. No, Cubit doesn't have any power constructed. Good on you, Cubit. You know how to handle
that price.
a dynamic market in which somebody has crashed a resource. Way to be.
The shareholders will love it.
Ridiculous. Yep, 3 reactors coming down, no surprise whatsoever. There is absolutely no reason not to plant those. Cubit already has so much water.
Oh, he's doing great. He's got 2 goon squads down. I mean, he's in a powerful position right now.
Absolutely.
He's got carbon scrubbing.
Moving into glass furnaces. I mean, he can just play this out as standard as can be from here.
Yep.
And he's going to be in a great position, period.
One thing I like to see him do is grab that. I think that's the only medium silicon that's around.
Market is online.
But I guess he's already used his claims.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing he's missing.
And
there's a high silicon down in the southeast.
Yeah, there is still silicon left on the map. There were 2
My
nice
bad.
areas of it, so I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, as long as there's some left.
At
on the
least
map,
2
he can
nice
make
areas.
The next level.
Yeah.
I guess he's just buying silicon.
All
I
right.
mean, see, he bought up a bunch of silicon, it looks like, because the price was low. So, yeah, you know. Cubit's doing good.
Showcasemike is holding on, but he's still in kind of an awkward position here. I mean, his steel mills are losing him a good $35, almost $40 a second right now,
Ooh.
which is awful. The solar panels aren't making much more than that in return. Like, he's got glass furnaces going online, but he's late to that market, considering there were already 4, having been constructed earlier. At least 4, yeah, 4. And that steel price is just dead. Where is all the steel? Like,
Wow.
does nobody have a stockpile of steel right now? Nobody's buying steel. This bothers me a little bit.
It's time to start building some iron mines. Jeez.
Yeah, and let's see. Kingmorgan is actually holding on to a fairly ridiculous amount of iron right now. Which means he can afford to make steel still, because if he sold all that down, it would be very cheap and blah, 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 blah. From there, he's fine. So he's just trying to create this awkward situation for the other 2 players, in particular for Cubit, but Cubit's already in just such a dominant place.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to sell all. The question is, how long will it take for Cubit to crash the iron market? So,
Yeah.
I mean, Kingmorgan can make steel, but he may want to crash it himself. I don't know.
Yeah, and Cubit's trying to do the exact same thing, effectively, with food that he did last game. Even though he's not making all that much of it,
Yeah.
he can still just buy it all up.
Yeah. I mean, this won't work because there's a goon squad, but I would love to see a network virus on Cubit's steel mills.
Yeah, that would be an
great play
interesting
right now.
decision. It would have been a solid
Because
decision,
then
probably.
Cubit's forced to buy iron.
Yeah, well,
and,
Kingmorgan gave up on it anyway so that he could hit HQ level 4. Entirely reasonable. But still, okay, we do see farms coming down from Kingmorgan. That's going to be important to do. Well, I guess there's already farms down from Showcasemike. So
Everyone's in
Cubit...
farms.
Well, Cubit drove up that price, kind of forced everybody into it, and now he's crashed it out again.
Crash it, yep. Switch over to
But
something
food
else.
is still a decent resource. Like, all that really did was give a bunch of extra debt to pk.dude and Kingmorgan. I still would have built farms, even at this current price this game. You know?
Is online.
Yep. Part of the problem is that silicon price is still stayed pretty solid, so you're not going to get much work done with your glass furnaces.
Yeah. I expect to see Cubit upgrade fairly soon here. He'll be able to take some silicon with that, which kind of secures him a
Look at that
source
water
for glass
price
for
rise,
power.
though. You
Yeah.
can see it.
Well,
literally
everybody
happening in real time. Everyone is
Made
just
that happen. Oh, wow.
slurping up that water.
Cubit's decided to get aggressive. He's going for the kill. He's got the cash for this. He can definitely pull this off, I think. And nobody else is jumping in to get a piece of this pie. And so Cubit, he's just going to once again get a straight buy in just a moment here. Majority buyout.
Game Slayer, by the way, in chat, network virus will turn on buildings that are off. So if you see opponents who's got buildings that are off, that's like a big red target for a network virus.
It's amusing. Well, I don't know what to say from here.
Yeah.
Nobody's making money. Cubit has driven up that water price to absolutely insane levels. Well, for a moment, then he sold back out of it again. Make up your mind, Cubit. Come on. Be reasonable here. There we go. Offworld market down for Cubit already. He knows he's pretty secure against a quick buy, and so building an Offworld market doesn't really paint any better of a target on his back than he already had. No real concern from that perspective. And adrenaline boosts are available for this thing.
Yeah. And for once, the AI building at Pleasure Dome is helpful.
Yes, it is. For once. I mean, it could have been a better Pleasure Dome if the AI had more claims. But...
Well, the AI doesn't claim when it's a subsidiary.
Gotcha.
6,000.
Of course, if it builds a second one, then that's not good for anything.
Yeah, then that's the AI being an AI.
8,000.
There's still a geothermal on this map? Alright then.
10,000.
I wonder if Cubit's actually built power ever this game. I don't think he
awesome.
has.
I love it. He hasn't even bothered with the patent lab to protect himself.
He's apparently going to take this geotherm.
It's kind of amazing.
Well,
Well, for
why would you
12,000.
have to, right? Did power ever get above $50 this game?
Yeah. No, you
I
don't
mean,
have to use
honestly,
your
it's
tiles
like-
for something else.
I think that was the big part where Kingmorgan lagged behind. Was he built? I think Kingmorgan built a geotherm on HQ level 2, and for pk.dude it was on HQ level 2 or 3. And in both of those situations, it was an absolutely horrid decision.
Yeah. Well, I like to see that the Cubits got into ice condensers. Probably everyone should have done that a lot earlier, considering where the price of water went. They all could have done that. They're very cheap to build.
Things are starting to stabilize a bit, thankfully, but, well, I say that, and then we've got shortages everywhere. But those reactors are going to be great,
Yeah.
which we only see, like, 6 reactors on the board right now. Like, Showcasemike isn't transitioning out of his glass furnaces. If those got hit with a network virus, that would be absolutely hilarious,
Market is online.
Yeah.
in my opinion. But I think the really important thing here is there's a boosted Offworld launching Oxygen at a 36k profit every,
Yeah.
what, 40 seconds, 45 seconds?
Yeah, you don't need to bother being fancy. Cubit just needs to make sure he's protected.
Yeah, this is just the most standard game in the world where Cubit's just like, hey look, I have a giant lead. Maybe I should just abuse that and I'll win the game.
Well, he's
Who would've
aiming
thought?
to kill the fuel market. Which makes sense, since no one's really gotten it. See, it's one thing to note, when there's no patent lab in the game, the fuel costs will get very high.
It's true.
Because that means
Well,
there's
and there was
no one
that
with water
shortage.
engine and no one's updated. Yeah, for
That
sure.
pipeline leak definitely contributing, but
But yeah, I mean, look at all the blimps flying around the map. You know,
absolutely. Kingmorgan's dead. Just Showcasemike left over. He's got nothing left in the tank right now. 6 of his buildings are off. 3 more are making literally $3 a second, and then
The black
7
market is online.
as low as they can possibly be right now. Silicon's doing all right. The silicon quarries are pretty good.
too many guys got glass furnaces.
If the silicon quarries were all that were up, I don't look. If they weren't alone, then maybe it'd be okay. But they are. And so Cubit's just gonna walk on through and take this victory as soon as the auction's over.
New land
Yeah.
is available for auction. Bidding will begin at
All right, audience. I hope you learned your lesson here. Don't build 3 solar panels.
auction unclaimed.
There's a reason everybody builds 2. It's because you got to build 2. It's just, it is a very easy market to flood. And one thing I think a lot of people don't think about is if that price has to start moving up from $20, it's just such a different situation from that price having to start moving up from $70 or $80, you know? If that's when all the pressure starts hitting, it's just such a different environment that you're playing in.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
want the-
so important.
Yeah. I mean, you neither want the price to get too high or too low.
Exactly. You kind of like a
Yeah.
moderate price at the start of the game as Power Robot for the most part, because other people, they're less inclined to get into it. It's not going to flood super hard and crash
Yeah.
out on you.
And
So
if
you
people
always have
skip
that.
building power at level 2,
Yeah.
and when they upgrade to level 3, that's when you get the crazy power spike.
Exactly.
you'll be able to ride that.
And you'll be able to ride that just fine for quite some time, frankly. You'll make so much money off of that, especially with adrenaline boost available this game. There's like literally no reason to crash that market early. You just kind of make sure you're getting your little slice of it, and that's fine. And then you're ready to go with an adrenaline boost. As soon as like day 3 is hitting, pretty much.
Yep.
Day 3 starts, you can have 3 panels up, adrenaline boost those, make sure you've stored up some dynamites, mutinies, gotten those goon squads established, and then you can just crash through the game from there so easily. And that, I think, would have been a much better approach.
Yep. Yeah. So I like here, this is definitely a game where you see the advantage of allowing the off-world market at level 4.
I like the off-world market at level 4. I absolutely love it.
Because if a player feels like they're in a dominant position, they can just go for the kill as opposed to worrying about upgrading again. You know? It makes the game shorter if you're not as long as it needs to be.
Absolutely.
All right. So I've talked to Blues and Cubit already about Friday being a possibility for the finals. So are you going to be able to stream on Friday?
It might depend on the time, but probably.
Okay. What's
I don't even know. I might have something to do early morning, 9 a.m. my time, so 10 a.m. Eastern.
Okay. My default would be to say do it at lunchtime, my time.
I'm
which
fine
is
with that.
12 EST.
That works just fine for me.
Okay.
If it works for everybody else.
Yep. And then it's a question of who wins tomorrow, whether they'll be able to make it to that game. But I'd like the idea of being able to do the whole tournament in 1 week. And we're actually trying to get Beta 9 out next week, actually, before Christmas.
Sounds good, because Beta 9's a lot better than Beta 8.
And there's a lot of new fixes, improvements that aren't even in this version, because once I found the next version was working, I didn't want to mess with it until the tournament's done.
I can agree with that entirely.
Yeah.
Are those on the dev version?
Yeah.
This is a question for me.
Yeah, I don't think I've done a build with the new. That's been kind of the dev internal has been kind of messed up this week because we also have a hotfix. There's been a problem with quick matches. If you try to play a skirmish during the quick match, it doesn't work. So
Gotcha.
we have a hotfix that potentially we're sending out today, but that's a hotfix on Beta 8, so that's actually going back in time. But probably by tomorrow, dev internal will have all of the newest stuff. Including being able to build your special buildings next to a colony and getting boosts for adjacent buildings. So
Silliness.
if you put your off-road market next to 6 warehouses, it'll launch 60% faster, 10% for each one.
Although, sounds ridiculous.
I mean,
I have to
that's
experiment with it at some point.
I don't think that situation would ever actually happen, but if you could probably get next to 3. which will give you 50%
3 is not unreasonable.
But then we have to handle the whole question of, like, do you want your off-road market that far away from your own headquarters? And what happens if someone else puts an off-road market right next to yours, and that means someone else
repair it?
Yeah, you have to repair it, or it means someone could EMP both two players off-roads at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what's the right move in that situation. So
It makes
but we
things
weren't-
more interesting, right?
Yeah, well, it's some extra stuff, that's for sure. But we definitely weren't.
Maybe
Go
it
ahead.
turns out like power, right? Where it used to be everybody built solar panels,
Yep.
like all you guys built solar panels separated from your base, and then
Yep.
everybody flooded in and was just like, you know what? Forget that. I need solar
Yep.
panels. They'll just go right here.
Yep. Yep.
So who knows how it's going to turn out?
I mean, if we make the boost strong enough, I'm sure people will do it. But at the
Absolutely.
very least, we'll have some fun experimentation in the next beta. So
Oh, to clarify quickly what I had said to you in Skype the other day about having the lobby screen and the quick match screen together. All I want is, like, you have this little lobby browser up here, and then you've got all this blank space next to it. I just want the quick match stuff to be right there. So I can be like, I would love to be able to be queued for a quick match while staring at the lobby browser. That's what I want in life.
yeah, we were lucky that the single-player skirmish thing works at all for the quick match, and as we can tell, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yes.
So it's easier said than done. But yeah, let me think about it. I know our UI guy will not like that because he will not like the idea of cramming 2 separate screens together into one.
But it's one concept.
Well,
I want to play a multiplayer game.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I want to do, and I'm going to have it so on the main menu, it tells you if there are open lobbies. Like right now, it tells you if there's quick matches available. I'm going to have it so it tells you if there's open lobbies available, and we can do that from either one of the screens. Where if you're in the quick match, it can tell you that there's a lobby open, and vice versa.
Right.
So we can probably do stuff like that.
Your UI guy likes blank space better than having more utility.
Something like that.
I
No,
just well, chat agrees with me, so. Ha.
Well, a hardcore players basically always want this. I mean, all you have to do is go
They
watch
always
a
want
high
the
level
most features.
Yeah, a high level raid for WoW, and look what's on
No,
the
it's
screen.
true.
And see,
It's
how much
true.
fun it is. Oh wow, we got eight player games starting up.
That's impressive. I mean, I gotta say, that's
I haven't played an 8-player game in a long time.
I haven't
I'm
played
kinda-
8-player game in a long time either.
I'm kind of curious how it works with the new system.
Yeah, it might be more doable. I still don't. I mean, if I'm playing an
I think
8-player game, I'm probably just gonna try and go power literally every time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be better. I mean, I actually really enjoyed the 6-player games we played last week because you were able to find these weird niches and weird cracks in the market that don't normally exist.
Yeah, 6-player games were interesting. I made a mistake in one of them. Like, man, it was super awkward. It was like it was the correct decision not to kill somebody because I couldn't get to the majority buyout, but I could get them like half dead.
Yep.
In which case they were effectively dead, and I could kill them whenever I wanted.
Yep.
And it was just it was a weird game.
All right, looks like I'm going to be jumping into this game here.
Enjoy yourself.
So have fun.
I'll get on out of here, and I'm gonna go get these uploaded because I already prepared the anti-spoiler matches today. Being all quick and doing things in advance, so hopefully it'll only take me like 15 minutes to get all this up for anybody out there who missed the first little sections and doesn't feel like watching from the past broadcast. All right. Well.
All right. Well, I'll catch you later.
Yep. I'll let you go play that game out. All right, guys. Soren's gone. You just heard what I said about getting stuff uploaded. I'm gonna try and have that done very quickly, and then I'm gonna go eat lunch because once again I need to go do that. But for now, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.